you know, another goddamn sequel show. Oh, what you know, another goddamn sequel show. La 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 la
I don't have any sequel movies.
Yeah, I thought about it. I was like, I don't know.
Like, it's been, I feel like everything news-wise has been all Comic-Con related, so it's like...
Yeah, I saw some of that unreleased footage. Someone, like, did a camera on their chest for the Avengers Infinity thing.
Yeah, I definitely watched that, too.
Me too.
Because, like, I figured they'd release it quickly because they don't want just a bootleg going around, but that's not been the case. They have not put it out yet, so... I gave it a day and then just watched it on Vimeo or whatever it was.
It looks pretty cool. I mean, you got the whole gang together. It's like got people standing side by side. From different movies, but they're all in the same movie now.
They can pan out that far and still see everyone. I don't know.
Yeah, it was weird. I don't know. Like, even it was kind of surprising to see how much of the visual effects were done already, but like they might have just been for this purpose. Like they focused on a few scenes or whatever.
I do like that idea, though, that there's so many people you can't fit them all in one frame, because that reminds me of those big comic book posters that have, like, every hero in them.
Yeah.
And I can't wait until we have one of those that matches up, like, with the Marvel with the MCU canonically, too. Not just, like...
If they're building up to, like, Infinity War and all that stuff, it's going to get that way. It's going to start getting ridiculous.
Yeah. Like, people have to die in this first one, right?
Yeah.
Like, it's already given kind of a weird, dark tone, so it's like...
We already... It's like, I can almost guarantee Vision's going to die, because he's got the stone in his head. So it's like, you know, Thanos is going to have to get that out. A lot of people are thinking Cap's going to die, because it's like, you know, he's not really Captain America anymore. He already gave up the shield and stuff like that, and he's a really good guy, so if he does die, that's going to be, like, super heavy kind of thing.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I don't know the actual comics or how closely they're sticking to it.
Yeah.
But, like, I feel like Tony Stark's going to go.
Yeah, that could be another thing. I think we are.
Like, a guy who's been responsible for assembling all these people together. Do you know what I mean? Like,
yeah, he's the catalyst of, like, the whole darn thing.
Fucking moth.
You got a fucking
it's
moth
like a
in the
beetle.
room.
I think it's a beetle. One of those beetles. Small. It might be a moth. I don't know. Fuck it.
Yeah, you're right. It's like hitting hard. Moths don't
Stupid-ass
fuck around
bugs.
like that.
Fucking bugs.
So we have a bug in this office.
Yeah, and it is like super annoying right now. It's just like tapping the ceiling like a fucking bird.
Oh no! God damn it!
Here, wait,
Oh
hold
my
on.
god, we're gonna have to get this thing.
Yeah.
But like,
Yeah. So please continue, Kyle. Now that you're up and over there.
I haven't seen like any of these movies hardly,
Really?
so I don't. I know they're probably great. I've seen a few of them. Like I'm trying to think of what I saw. Ant-Man and the first Thor, which.
Man, you're not starting off with the good ones. I'll give you that.
Yeah.
hey, I like the first.
I like Thor. I thought it was good.
Also, like, Ant-Man's like a fun. Yeah,
it was fun.
Yeah.
Like, and I love Paul Rudd. How do you?
Yeah,
You know?
no, Ant-Man was like a lot of fun.
But then let's see, Captain America and Winter Soldier. I saw that too.
Yeah.
Winter Soldier was fucking great.
Yes.
Winter Soldier's my favorite.
Yes.
That seems to be the general consensus.
I personally feel I really enjoyed the first one too. I really feel like as far as like a trilogy goes, that is the most solid one. Is the Captain America one?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I haven't
like,
seen-
the
was it
third one's
Civil-
basically an Avengers.
Is that the Civil
movie.
War one?
Yeah,
I haven't seen that yet.
It's basically an Avengers.
Haven't seen Avengers. I haven't seen any of the Iron Mans because I just don't like his.
First
Iron
one.
Man's like a shit character. I don't like him.
Okay.
I like the first one.
Yeah, it's honestly the first one's like the good one. Like 3 is like a fun. 2, I have to jump on that bandwagon. Like I don't understand why that movie exists.
Yeah.
Like it did nothing besides like give you a new War Machine.
No, yeah, you're totally right. All it did was just
a new War Machine or
Yeah,
gave War. I haven't seen it.
Oh,
I know
so
about
they
War
recast
Machine,
the
but
character.
oh, okay.
It was
Yeah.
Terrence Howard, and then it became
Don Cheadle.
Don Cheadle. Yeah, who's like he's gonna be in. You know, he's been there since then, so
Yeah.
he's around.
And then also they recast Hulk too. It used to be Edward Norton. Now
Oh,
Mark
yeah.
that
Ruffalo.
was an interesting choice too.
I just like that Marvel established early on. No, we're okay with getting new people. Like they're here to see the character, not the actor,
Yeah.
and they're totally okay with doing that kind
I
of
mean,
shit.
it's smart because otherwise they're just throwing. Like I assume that what's his fucking name? Edward Norton. I assume he just probably wanted more money, and it was like
I feel like that's very possible. I heard he's also like really hard to work with.
Yeah,
that's
so that you know what I mean. Now we were putting on a much bigger scale. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
He might not play well with
That's
others.
why Terrence Howard's not there. He wanted more money.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's why he got recast.
He thought, oh, I've already been signed up as the guy that ends up playing War Machine. I'm in, and they're like, no, you're not.
He was actually the first person cast in Iron Man.
Damn.
Like, so he thought he just like was more important than he honestly.
No, but I would. Man, I would be pumped for an Infinity War, for actual Infinity Gauntlet stuff, because like. I had the originals. I had the 6 Infinity Gauntlet comics. I didn't have any of the rest of them, but that's one of my favorite like run of books. They're so good. Yeah. Thanos fucking kills everybody.
Yeah, he literally just like waves his hand and kills like a third or half the entire population of the universe.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. And then like once he gets all the Infinity Stones.
Oh yeah, he
has. So when he has the gauntlet, it's official. Like okay.
Yeah, he's trying to get Death to love him. Because Death is actually a real physical person in the Marvel universe.
Okay.
Like all those cosmic entities and stuff like that, like love and hate are actual living beings, and so is Death. And Thanos is like a nihilist. He's at heart, and so he's like trying to get Death to like fall in love with him. He's trying to woo her, and he's like, "How about this? I will give you half of all the universe is now yours by me just." Killing everyone and stuff like that. He's trying to impress her, but she's just not having it.
Damn. Dude, she's playing hard to get.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, he does some fucking cool ass shit too to some of those fucking man. Yeah.
Like killing like obviously beloved characters.
Oh yeah, I mean everyone. He kills, that's like Wolverine digs his claws into him, and Thanos like turns his bones to rubber, and you see him just like twist up. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Whoa. Like he fucks I think he doesn't even kill like even like the like Galactus and shit.
Yeah, because like, what they end up doing is
devourer of planets and shit. Like just kills everyone.
Yeah, Surfer and Warlock start to like recruit a whole bunch of the Celestials and even some of like the gods, like the Living Tribunal and other things like that, to go, hey, we really got to stop Thanos because he's literally can do anything he wants in the universe, kind of thing. Like on a power scale, we're talking like way overboard, like too much power, kind of thing. And so everyone's trying to stop him, and I love that the way they win though is just Thanos just knows that he doesn't deserve this much power. It's like subconsciously he keeps causing himself to fail because he knows he's not worthy of it.
So is the gauntlet and the Infinity Stones, is it set up for a situation like this? Like why do they exist if they can cause this, or is it just like he willed it? He willed this power in his own way to like.
No, he gathered the stones. The stones existed.
But is that like, is there like a prophecy is probably not the right word, but is there like a reason that this gauntlet exists and these Infinity Stones exist, and when combined, they're just like this?
Well, I may be wrong on this, but I think that he created the gauntlet. I don't know about the origins of the stone, but I believe he collected them to have that power.
To have this crazy weapon. Mm-hmm. So, in the books, is it devised in a way where like you could see the movies being like at the end of the first movie he wipes everybody out, or he wipes away half the population, whatever it is?
I don't even know what they're gonna do. They did something so different with Civil War. It's up in the air. They could do anything they want at this point.
Which is probably good, right?
Yeah. No, it's totally a good thing. It's like Civil War really made me realize, okay, they're just not gonna do the comics. And so when I hear Infinity War, Chris and I were talking. He's like, "Who do you think's going to play the part of Mephisto? Who do you think's going to play the part of Death?" And it's like, "Are they going to introduce Mephisto? Are they going to introduce Death? Are they going to introduce these people?" And I'm like, "No." I was like, "I don't even know if they'll have a Mephisto character." I'm like, "It might be Loki. It might be someone else. I don't know." But they might just do something
clearly serving him in some way,
entirely different. Like they could go any direction with it at this point, and I'm totally game for it.
Sure. I just feel like with dividing into two, I just feel like something super crucial. That's why I was saying like someone really important is going to die, because I think something obviously
here's my
crucial
theory
is going to happen at the end.
Or my guess, my thought. There's going to be a time skip. We're going to have Doctor Strange in there, and he's going to be getting the time stone. Doctor Strange's going to be like, "We can't defeat Thanos. He's winning, and they're going to rewind time or do some kind of time jump, because there's already people pointing out in Spider-Man Homecoming doesn't line up with the existing timeline of the MCU. Where it's like you see like Spider-Man Homecoming starts like right at the end of like, the Battle of New York. And then it says something like 10 years later or 12 years later or something like that.
Okay.
And they're like, wait, but that doesn't line up with the current MCU timeline. That's like, so many years earlier or later than it should be. And so people are already wondering if like there's already been some time fuckery, and Spider-Man Homecoming is kind of a clue at that there's been a time skip, and like Doctor Strange has already done something like he did with Dormammu in Doctor Strange, where he's trying to repeat time again to give us a second chance. And there might be something like that going on.
I mean, like, I get like this universe definitely has its shit together, so I feel like it's not a mistake that they did this time. But like, that just seems like way convoluted. I don't know.
Well, I'd imagine it being the first movie ends with like, Doctor Strange going back and like saying like we have to do something. And it's like, and maybe there's going to be like some the movies show alternate events happening or something like that. But
Spider-Man plays a role in all this, right?
Yeah, Spider-Man's going to be.
So then,
along.
wouldn't in like Homecoming, then he would have already survived all this? Then,
see, I don't know what's going on. It's just my thought that maybe there's some time fuckery going on where there's like a time skip forward or backward at the end of Infinity War to lead into the second one.
Sure. Fuck it.
Yeah. Okay, so welcome to the nerd podcast where we talk about Infinity War and Avengers all the time, forever.
There's definitely probably 20 podcasts devoted to MCU.
Oh yeah, there's
just
probably a lot more
the
than that.
movies even.
But how many are devoted to the Death Wish movies?
Maybe the After Tonight one.
I don't know.
I wouldn't even say this one is yet.
Yeah, I said After Tonight.
Yeah,
After Tonight.
Oh, and in case you couldn't tell, Dave isn't here.
Yeah.
Yep.
He is on vacation.
Mm-hmm.
He's taking a little time off.
Yeah, he's been podcasting a lot recently.
Yeah, it's been.
He hasn't missed an episode.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
I've been on more episodes of another show lately than I have been this one. Next time I'm on that show, I will promote this show, but I will say it's called like Rock Bottom Comedy Hour, I think is what it's called. And basically this guy pre-writes all these funny scripts, and then people come in and read them, and he chooses like the best of the best, and then puts them up. So it's all original scripts, which is really cool. But in one, I play Charles Manson's pen pal wife.
Mm-hmm.
So I just married him, and my plan is like when he dies, I'm gonna take his body around and sell tickets, and people can see him. But he breaks out early and shows up to consummate the marriage. So it's and now it's super relevant because isn't he getting out, or is he's one of the people that's
never getting out
on the list, but. Well, no.
You think Trump will pardon him?
He's not fucking. Yeah, I would not be surprised. Trump pardons him to distract, and then launches a nuke on North Korea. That's probably what happens. So
that's a good idea.
Launching a nuke on North
Korea. If you're listening, Don.
Yeah. You can skip that first part.
Big fan. Dave's not there. Sad.
Yeah.
Sad. Dave missed an episode of the podcast. Pathetic.
American guy loves cheeseburgers.
Totally down to earth.
Oh shit. But yeah, what were we talking about?
No, sorry. Charles Bronson.
I was on another show. So
did you guys ever see the Charles Bronson movie?
Yeah.
With,
yeah, that was actually my first endeavor into Charles Bronson. So that was weird.
What are you talking about?
Oh, Bronson.
Oh.
Is that what you're talking about? You're talking about Bronson,
yeah.
right?
I mean, that's not even the same guy.
No, it's not the same Charles Bronson. No.
Jesus.
No, I get it. I'm just saying that. I don't think I'd ever seen a movie, at least knowingly, with Charles Bronson until this week.
Oh. Well, that's
feel bad.
He's been in a lot of movies.
Yeah.
They're all basically the same. But
you got
well, they're different, but he's he's essentially the same. He's just guy that's really good at shooting people.
But he's a lead, right? Because that's what I don't think I've seen a Charles Bronson movie.
Pretty much all of them are like that.
Yeah.
I mean, there's a few.
Oh wait, I saw The Great Escape.
Yeah, well, The Mechanic. That's great.
That's
Jason Statham.
That's just
yeah,
and Ben Foster, if I'm not mistaken. Was he like his dad?
Pretty sure he was already dead by then.
Oh yeah, that is definitely
died
true.
like 2003 or something like that.
That is definitely true.
R.I.P.
Yeah. Oh my God.
What did he die of?
A bunch of shit.
Being
I
badass.
did a bunch
I'm
of
pretty
shit.
sure he died of like lung cancer or something.
That
but he was
probably
also
makes sense.
like 80 or something like that. So
Yeah,
it's like
geez.
he's old as shit.
He lived a life.
Yeah.
He did.
Killed a lot of people.
He killed
Killed
a
so
lot
many
of
people.
characters.
Yeah, there's fucking that. Death Hunt's real good.
Does he just star in movies with death in the title?
A lot. I mean, there's a few of them.
162 projects he's acted in.
And there's like a lot of his earlier stuff. He did a lot of like westerns and shit when he was early on.
Okay.
And then he started doing like action shit.
Probably a quality over quantity thing. You know?
I mean, even at like 71 or 72 or however old he was in this Death Wish 5, like I could totally see him as a badass.
yeah.
Like I wouldn't say he was necessarily like a super badass in this movie.
Yeah, he was.
However, I'm taking his age into consideration.
73, I believe.
Yeah.
I did the math earlier and then I forgot. But he was born in like 1921.
Yeah.
Wow.
We
That was
already
so
make
long ago.
jokes.
That was almost 100 years ago.
He like lived through the Great Depression.
Yeah.
Like, that's a way to put that.
Yeah. I was gonna say we already make jokes about like how old like Stallone and Bruce Willis were getting when they were trying to do stuff in their 50s.
Yeah.
Bronson was doing it mid 70s.
And he was,
Yeah.
I mean, he was like he was still trucking in this movie.
Yeah, he was, man. I mean, I don't think he did all of his own stunts.
No, I'm not specifically talking about
Yeah.
stunts, but like
No.
he wasn't a frail old man or anything. Like,
Now, like you having seen most of, or all of
I've
the
seen
other
all
ones.
of these.
Okay.
I've seen
Was
a
there-
decent amount of his movies in general too?
Was he withholding a lot? Like, was he a lot more physical in his younger years as far as like the action goes? Because in this one, it was mostly like action from afar. I'd say, like in a way that's like he wasn't just directly.
Yeah. A lot of times he
participating.
kind of did something and then sat back and watched it happen. It's like, kind of.
Like cool
fun.
deaths, but I'm saying he didn't. It wasn't a lot of physicality.
Well,
Yeah, I don't. I mean, he just shot a lot of guys.
yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
He generally has guns,
Okay.
and then he shoots somebody with it.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah,
He doesn't just poison everybody's cannolis.
no.
No.
Okay.
And we'll get into that.
yeah.
But
I loved the scene where like that girl goes to serve Tommy goes to serve Tommy's
The
like,
cannolis,
and he just throws
Oh,
that. I was
I
like,
yeah.
actually made a note
like
of
one
that
of my
because he
favorites.
called her the resident retard.
Yeah.
And I loved that line.
he was very offensive.
Yeah.
In this movie,
Tommy
like if there was
O'Shea.
if there was like a reason to hate a character, like, just right off the bat,
Yeah, he
just
was
made him
very
terrible. Yeah,
He was
like
he made it very easy to not like him.
which I do have more to say about him, but like let's you want to jump to the synopsis?
Sure. Well, the movie all just starts backstage at a fashion show with a bunch of naked ladies.
Side boob.
What? Oh, lots of boob.
Full
yeah,
on
but there
boobs.
was, it started with there was just some straight side boob.
Okay.
And you're like, all right, I like
This
what's
is
this
the
opening.
this is the movie.
This camera is fixated on tits in this scene.
Yeah.
Like let's just
And then right off the bat we meet Tommy the bad guy and his crew of henchmen and goons. And then we also meet his wife Olivia, or no, his ex-wife,
ex-wife.
Yeah,
ex-wife Olivia,
Or
who is
were they married?
Yeah, they
Yeah,
were
okay.
married.
They
but
were-
that's what
yeah.
the little girl is
Yeah.
their daughter.
Chelsea
That
is
doesn't mean they were
their
married, man.
daughter.
They could have
I'm
had
just
a
saying they
child
were
out of
they were
wedlock.
married.
I think ex-wife is said at some point.
That's true.
But anyway,
Okay,
Yes.
because he would have got custody. Yeah, I get it.
yeah, Bronson is now in bed with Olivia, and so Tommy doesn't like Bronson right off the bat because of
Yeah.
that.
Paul.
Yeah, Paul is his name.
Yeah,
And
Paul-
he has two
Paul
last
Kersey.
names
He
because
has
he
a
was in
separate-
Yeah, he does.
protection.
Let's see, what
Witness
the hell do they
protection.
call him? Because in 3 it was Paul Kimball.
It's always Paul. Is that the thing?
Yeah.
Well, yeah, he doesn't change his first name. He just changes
Okay.
his
There's
last
a lot of
name.
Pauls out there.
Because his name's Paul Kersey,
Yeah.
and then I don't.
It'd be bad to change your first name because then like someone goes, "Hey, Paul!" No, it's Mike now.
Yeah.
That's true. Hey, that's very. I do want to. It's Paul, like something with an A, but that doesn't matter. Keep going, Mike. I'm sorry.
But anyway, we're introduced to Tommy and his crew, and we're shown how much of a bunch of dickheads they are by them being mean to a fat guy and them being mean to Olivia and stuff like that. And so Tommy sees all this, and he finds out, and he's like, "Hey, you know what? You should testify." He tells Olivia, "You should testify against Tommy, so that way they have some evidence against him." Well, this was a bad idea, because immediately. They go after Olivia at that point, and they like smash her face into a mirror.
Yeah. Well, this one specific henchman with dandruff
Flaky Freddy or something.
Who is
like that.
I'm not gonna lie, when he was dressed up as a
Flakes.
woman in there, I was just like, I don't know how I haven't seen this before. Maybe I have, but like I loved that. I love that there was like this man waiting in the bathroom dressed as a woman.
Yeah.
He had to get in there
waiting
somehow.
there though.
Oh, sorry, Pops
Came in after her.
Okay.
Anyway, he busts her face against a mirror. Say, hey, you ain't no pretty no more. And then says, don't testify against Tommy.
Sure.
And then he leaves. And so now Paul realizes that they're probably in some deep shit because it's like, he talked to the DA who's his friend about this, and then somehow word already got out. So there's like some kind of rat in the police department. But Olivia still wants to testify anyway. So they end up killing her, just outright killing Olivia, shooting her in the back while she's on the roof. And Bronson's able to escape, but now Bronson's really mad. And then he gets even madder when he finds out that Tommy is trying to get custody of the daughter away from Bronson. And so Chelsea, the little girl, is with the bad guy. His wife's dead, and Bronson has had enough. He has snapped. He has reached his breaking point. And he just goes and starts killing people. He kills the first guy with a cannoli. He kills the second guy with a soccer ball. He kills the third guy
I did too.
with a gun.
Yeah.
And then everyone's starting to realize, oh shit, Bronson's back in town and he's killing a bunch of bad guys. And so the DA's like, you should probably calm down on that. And but then when he kills the rat, like inside the police station, the DA's like, you know what? I'll give you your space. You can do what you're gonna do. I was never here. You've done it before 4 times.
At least four times.
So we're just gonna leave you to it. We know you'll get the job done. And meanwhile, the bad guys, there's 2 bad guys left. There's Tommy and his backup, who's like a nervous wreck about this whole thing. He's
got high blood pressure.
Sal, I think.
Sal.
And he's like, I want out. After we kill this Bronson guy. There's no more because this is just as bad for my heart.
I really dug that scene actually, just real quick because we're not gonna get to it again.
Yeah.
But, like, I dug that scene because like it gave that character some like humanity, right? And then it's just in the following scene, like all before that, and then immediately after that scene, he's just a dick again. So it's just like, if you're having some reservations, why don't you just like change your way of life and actually try to get out? Because that was like his most humanized. Like,
there's one line he has in there that I think would have made a great character for him if he had actually been a character, and that was, he says, "This is bad for business." And I would have liked, because we have a weirdo, Freddie Flakes, that's like paranoid with all this shit in his house, and he like dresses up as a woman before he kills someone. Like, he's a weirdo. Yeah. Then we have the cannoli eating guy, and it's like he's constantly got a sucker in his mouth.
Cheeky.
And he's chicky.
And he's just always, he's just kind of like, a general news, like, he's the big jerk, like he's pushing people around all the time, abusing women.
He's just like he's kind of cast as like the silent meathead henchman, basically.
The big dumb one.
Yeah. I mean, like you said, for almost the whole movie, he has a sucker in his mouth almost the whole time. And there's a couple. It's like when they go to kill Olivia. He doesn't have one there when they're all walking through the house shooting a bunch, and he has unlimited shotgun shells in his gun.
Yeah.
He doesn't have one there, and then I think there's only a couple other scenes where he doesn't.
When he's eating the cannoli, he doesn't.
Yeah.
In
he
the
certainly
casket.
dies by cannoli.
Yeah.
Oh, in the casket, they didn't. Yeah, they didn't. Do that. Although I'm pretty sure when they first showed that he was like breathing. I could be wrong, but I was just like.
But then I would have liked it if that last guy Sal was like not necessarily a nerd, but the guy that's all about the business, where he's like, you can't just be killing people like that. That's bad for business and stuff like that. Where it's like he has a little more humanity to him, but he's still just a bad guy. He's still a crook. He doesn't necessarily not want to kill people because it's wrong, but because it's bad for business.
Yeah, but instead he just gets like one scene where he's given some substance, and then immediately that goes away.
Back to
I like that guy. I thought he was a good actor too. I was like,
yeah,
I'm with him. I believe this.
But he ends up getting shoved into a wood chipper inside of a fabric facility or something like that. I don't know what. I guess that's like to tear up the fabric. And it's not like Bronson even shoves him into the wood chipper or something like that. And
he like trips into it.
Yeah, and it's saying, look, you got a chip on your shoulder, and like shoves him in or something like that. He shoots him and the guy accidentally falls in.
Where were you in the 90s to write to punch up this script a little bit?
But anyway, Bronson basically storms the castle. Like, they kidnap Chelsea to lure Bronson into a trap, and he's lured in, but he kills them all anyway, shoves the guy in the wood chipper by accident. And then he's taken down Tommy, and he tells Tommy, "You need a bath," and then he pushes Tommy into a pool of acid, and then the movie's done, just like that. The movie ends right when he's leaving that scene.
Was that what that was?
It was acid? It's established at the very start of the movie.
Remember they throw the.
No, I knew that. I didn't know what it was.
I don't know why.
I think it's for like dyeing colors on fabrics and stuff like that.
Okay, because that was one of the things. Is like, I thought it was just like something that was incredibly hot. And that's why the end didn't make it. That didn't.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if it was because they threw the whatever mannequin to scare the.
But that
fat
could have
guy.
just been hot because that would have melted the plastic.
I mean, if it was just acid, that makes more sense actually. Because I thought it was just something hot, and like watching it when they threw Tommy in, when he put Tommy in there, I was just like. There's no way that thing is still hot when they're not like
when they're not working.
Yeah, there's no. It's been shut off for a long time, but that makes sense now.
Well, I mean, there's still the issue that everyone's left for the day, closing up shop. Let's leave this giant pool of acid just open on the floor in the dark. You'd think there'd be some kind of fucking cover for the thing.
No.
I mean, people put fucking covers over like little tiny holes in the ground. But anyway, that's the movie.
I love that bar of the pen scene.
And if you thought it sounded boring,
you're wrong.
Are you waiting?
It was. Yeah. No, it was, I made a note. I'm 30 minutes in and I'm already bored, and I was never not bored.
Damn. That's rough.
I found this movie to be boring, unfortunately. Like, when the first kill happened, or not even the first kill, but like Tommy's threatening the fat guy and he like shoves a saw into his side, it does this awkward cutaway and stuff like that. And I'm like, shit, am I watching an edited for TV version? And then I'm like, no, I saw like 8 pairs of tits 4 minutes ago. This movie is literally just like not showing me that. And I'm like, okay, whatever. It doesn't want to show me that. Fine. And then we get these fucking drawn out deaths of nothing happening. It's like, cannoli and he's choking and he just chokes and falls. Like, okay, well, that was just the first one. Maybe they're going to get better. He rolls a soccer ball around the guy's house for like 8 goddamn minutes before the guy finally picks it up, and then it bursts into flame and he falls down. And I'm just like,
hey,
no,
Frankie,
movie.
I'm going to get rid of that dandruff for you.
I love that. I love the soccer ball. It was great.
I do too.
I would have loved if it didn't last fucking 12 minutes from him being in the it felt like it from him being in the toy shop picking it up to him going to his house. We established Freddy's inside and he's paranoid and he's with a girl, and then he starts wheeling the soccer ball around to lure Freddy out, and then Freddy does like 2 laps around the house looking for what it is, and it cuts to Bronson every once in a while behind the gate like, oh, and I'm just like, what the fuck am I fucking watching here?
I mean, I was laughing and enjoying the scenario, so I feel like we're just coming at, but I feel like for this movie I'm gonna fall somewhere like right in between these two takes,
because I think I played my hand already where I said on this movie.
Well, I mean, you opened up with like, I was bored.
Yeah. There's nowhere else to go from there. It's not like I was bored, but it was good. It's just like, well, if it was bored, yeah.
I mean, I get it. Like, to me, okay, so this obviously isn't kind of movie making more. Like, it doesn't play out like this anymore, right? It's kind of slow in some parts, sure.
Yeah.
Although I wouldn't say I was ever bored, because like I felt like each scene kind of went like this, and like, yeah, maybe you knew where they were going, but I don't know. It never like just bored me. But they certainly don't make them like this anymore, and so I appreciate that. I was like, this is a movie I would like totally dig if I was like 10 and watching it on cable. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I would be so into it. But the other part of me that's just like giving it a little bit like more of a break is like, again, being like, yeah, this guy's in his 70s and they're just working around. Like,
he's like 73 when they made this. He might maybe like 72. You figure if they shot it like a year before it was released. Maybe not though, because they were, I mean, that's the 5th one. They're just like, fuck it, just throw it together. It's fine. Nobody even cares. Just kill some people.
For sure. But like there's some scenes where it's like I loved the cannoli scene. Like, yeah, it's like a weird death where he kind of like plays it from afar, but like I thought that scene was like tense, and I like where it was going, and I was waiting to see what happened, and mom freaking out.
Yeah, that was pretty good.
He casually walks out as the police runs in.
Yeah,
He's just like, well, time to go, I guess.
He's like, Mom, you got a customer, about time. Or whatever. Like, it's just like little things. Like, I don't know, the characters, even though they were just like typical like archetypes for the most part.
Yeah,
I really enjoyed it.
I mean, it's a very formulaic movie. There's nothing groundbreaking going on here.
Sure. I want to see like the original script, and they'll be like, okay, we got to remember Charles Bronson is like in his 70s. So
yeah, and they reworked the.
So
deaths.
how about like a soccer ball, maybe like some food poisoning, like just Like...
We'll have one where he actually shoots some guy. He'll just be sitting on a bed and have to turn around and shoot him. That's how we'll do it. He doesn't have to like jump around a corner or hide behind a door. He'll just be sitting on a bed. A guy will walk in. He'll turn around and shoot him.
Sure.
And again, I'm okay with stuff like that happening if it's like the movie is somewhat interesting for me. But it's not. Like you said, it's very formulaic. I see where it's going. The movie stands on the villains, where it's like, you have a variety of them with these different different little clicks that they like, different ticks that they have and stuff like that. And I liked that. But then that's all that they are, is they're kind of one-dimensional characters at that point, just like do that tick or that one special thing about them, and then that's kind of what they are, and it works for the movie, but it's like that's really the only thing the movie was offering me, because Bronson's like hardly in there, and his story is like played out, and I've seen it 100 times before. It's like, oh, he's gonna want revenge, and it's like for the second half of the movie, it's like I only see Bronson when he shows up to watch someone die from 50 meters away. And my favorite part of the movie is the ending where he like storms into the factory, because we have different things going on in there, where there's the forklift bit, and he like tricks him into shooting a forklift. He hangs up one of the guys on like the coat rack or whatever that's moving through. Yeah. So there's like moving parts. There's different things, and it's differently lit than the rest of the movie too, where it's kind of dark and moody. And so I was into that last sequence, but I was just like, man, it's like you've already lost me, movie. I'm sorry. If you had something like this going on halfway through, this might have been the thing that pulled me through the rest of the movie. But it's like ending on like an uptick, and then just like boom, end too. I didn't like that. Like literally just walking out the door, done. Ending.
I expected something with Chelsea.
I expected something.
That's just kind of how they're all like that. Mm-hmm. They're pretty much all like that. Yeah. That's the thing, is there's 5 of these movies, and they're pretty much the same. I mean, it's just I think just with declining quality here. It's the first one was, and that's part of the thing. It's like the first one. This one came out in '94. Yeah. The first one was '74.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Okay.
It goes 74, then 82, 85, and 87. Okay. Pretty much 2 years in there, and then 94, where they were like, "Hey, you want to do one more movie?"
Well, what it was Canon went bankrupt. Yeah. Canon used to make the Death Wish movies. They went bankrupt, and so it's like some other company, I forget who, like bought the rights, and they're like, "Well, shit, we'll do another one."
Is this the 5th one?
And that's this one.
Yeah.
Okay. Faces of Death. Yeah. Death Wish 5, Faces of Death.
What I think is interesting is, at least according to IMDb, maybe the poster too, I'm not sure, is like they switched to the V for 5. Whereas the rest are just like numeral.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
2, 3, 4, and then it's like V.
What was the 90s? You can't have numbers anymore.
Hey, you're right. When you're right, you're right. I would say, like, on that point, I would say my biggest problem with this movie, actually, and like I understood it, I liked it. Like, I liked how he wanted to put it in the DA's hands at first, is like, because clearly he's probably not been that guy before. So I'm like, I'm putting together some, like, getting some character study in here that I haven't seen, because I haven't seen the other movies. But I was like, okay, he's playing it out. Now he's taking it in his own hands. It's just the girl that he's with, who's like clearly this former model now. Trying to make her name in the fashion world, and her beauty is destroyed. I loved that, with like that picture of her behind her.
Oh yeah,
this older picture, and then she's just turns around and is just all fucking cut up. Like, I love
and
that.
Still
shit.
Doesn't look bad at all.
She's totally fine.
It's like, wait like a couple weeks for your cuts to heal, and you'll probably look exactly the same. You might have a scar that you can put some makeup over, and it'll be fine.
It was a little intense saying, like, I'm not gonna lie, she's gonna look fucked up. Like, that's basically what the doctor said. And better wording. But my biggest problem is so I'm watching. I'm just like, and it's on you, Brian.
Yeah.
I'm like, is this really just like the one he wanted us to watch? Because like I couldn't help but imagine 2, 3, and 4 like have to be somewhat more enjoyable than this one. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I guess it.
So my big thing is, why did you pick 5?
I just picked it as the last one.
Okay.
I was because like I hadn't really seen any of them in quite a while. I've seen all of them, but I hadn't seen the rest of them in quite a while. And I was like, oh, it'll be 4 or 5. Mm-hmm. And 4 is a little weirder. I don't want to say weirder, but it's not like it's like some guy is hiring him to go kill all these people.
Whereas, like, okay, and that goes against kind of how the series has been.
Yeah, sort of. And then this one, it's just back, because he has the worst luck.
Yeah.
Paul Kersey has the worst luck, because the first one, it's his wife is killed and his daughter's raped. So
in the 70s, this happened? Wow.
Yeah, 74.
There's like that's dark subject matter.
Yeah, and they're in New York. That happens, and I think at the end of that one, it talks about him moving to Chicago, which also they mention in 3. But then the second one is in L.A., and his daughter is killed there, who was already raped in New York, is killed in L.A.
She's been put through the ringer.
Then the third one, they were just like, well, we can't do that again. It's got to be something else. And it's like his like Korean War buddy that lives in New York, so he goes back to New York to visit him. And then, it's like a gang that just like controls this block, and I really should have done 3. Because I watched 3 again today, and I should have done 3.
Gotcha.
But
you're like thinking through it, like, oh damn, this was
because 3 starts. It starts and people are dying, and it's But then 4, they're fucking back in L.A. and I think it's his fiance again. He finds somebody else again, and they get killed, and it's just like, what the fuck, dude?
Yeah.
And then 5, he's back in New York,
another fiance,
ready to get married again, and she's dead. And she's like, what? Why?
Paul Kersey's not meant for love, man.
He's not meant for love. He's meant to just shoot fucking bad people.
He has a great line where he says something like, "You don't realize how hard it is for me to say this, but let's leave this to the cops."
Yeah, exactly. And that's what I'm saying. It's like, oh, okay, because clearly he's not been that guy before.
The setup for this movie, like, I've seen the first one long ago, seen bits and pieces of maybe the third one or something, because I remember the friend.
Yeah.
But you really don't need to see any other movies.
No.
Like, to get this one, because so many movies do that cliche where even if it's the first one to help establish the character being badass, they're like, he's a former Marine. It's like, and we didn't have to see a movie where he was in the war. We just know that he's a badass because they mention it. They have lines like that in this movie where they're like, oh, it turns out he's a real big badass and this and that. Yeah. And so they set him up just as much as any other generic hero from 80s action movies.
Oh, yeah.
And like, I know this is true for like pretty much all sequels, but like the whole, like, I'm thinking like, I don't know if this movie needs to exist.
It really does
not.
But
I really want to see this character more. So like, it worked for me in that way. Like, because most people have probably seen Death Wish 5, have seen Death Wish 1 through 4.
Yeah,
but
that's a good assumption.
I'm like, usually. I would rather go. I want to see this young fucking incarnation of the. Wait.
Even in
this
74,
20-year span, he's 50. He's in his 50s.
He's still old.
I was just thinking, like, holy shit, wow. He's probably less puffy, though. Let's be honest.
Yeah.
He looked kind of puffy.
Yeah, he was a little less gray,
like,
a little less puffy.
The poster made him look 10 times worse than he actually does in the movie. But yeah. I mean, I'm sure he did all his own stunts, like the slow driving by the camera.
Yeah.
I like there was one scene where he gets knocked out by one of Tony's goons with like something.
Oh yeah, like a log when he was in the house.
But then just like he falls, and it's like I don't even know if it's him. It's probably not, obviously. Yeah. But he's just like in sweatpants, and like the sweatpants are like digging into the ass crack a little bit. I'm just like this is a lot right now. Like, this is a weird angle we chose for this. But also, I do want to say something about aesthetically, since we're on that subject real quick. I really liked the way this movie looked. Like, it was obviously, it's such an early, mid-90s movie. And, like, that's probably one of my favorite things I did like about it. It felt so sleazy with, like, just the focus on boobs throughout, like, the first half.
Yeah.
It felt, like, so sleazy and obviously, like, archetypes of just, like, those good-ass action movies from our childhood, which I would include this in. I just didn't get to it in my childhood.
There's one compliment I can give the movie. It's exactly what you would expect from a Death Wish 5.
Oh, yeah.
It's just, in my opinion, it also happens to be boring.
Sure.
I mean, how many movies like this have gone through 5, and if you're ever one, you're like, all right, this is great. Right. It's always like, oh yeah, well this is I've seen this 4 times already.
Totally
Here's a 5th
fair.
one, and every movie, it definitely just suffers from like, well, they've made this movie 4 other times already, and I still love it. So,
and if you had like grown up with like Charles Bronson, I'm sure this would be totally even more enjoyable. You know what I mean? You might grab onto other things than us who are like a little separated from this franchise, Mike. But I could totally say, did this get a theatrical release?
I'm sure it did, probably.
Yeah,
I don't remember, but
I think it did, and that was part of like why it bombed so bad is because they put money into it, trying to hope to revive. They had a sequel planned and everything too. There were going to be another one, and then they're like, "Oh shit, we can't." This is actually one of the movies that has a 0% on Rotten Tomatoes.
Damn, it's not that bad.
It's not that bad.
I would agree with that. I don't think it's that bad, but I can see where those people are coming from.
Yeah. No.
Shit. I want to say something real quick. The best part of this movie, I think, inarguably, is Michael Parks as Tommy. I think that guy fucking elevates everything he's in. But like, especially like seeing something a little bit older than what I'm used to from him in this movie, like I thought he was so good. Like I thought he was so. Do you guys disagree? You're silent, so I feel like you're disagreeing with me.
I was trying to think of,
but like, dude,
what else he was in. I didn't even know his name. So
he's in he's in he's in like a ton of shit. He's always like that guy, right? But he's in more recently, he's in like a couple. I hate to say this.
You just keep saying he's in.
I know.
He's in.
I don't want to get to this because this is a bad example. But he's in like some of Kevin Smith's stuff. Like he was in Tusk, and he was in.
I haven't seen that.
He was in Red.
Oh, I did.
Red
movie? State.
Red State. He's like the cult leader in that movie, and but he's also in like From Dusk Till Dawn. He plays the cop in like the beginning, and like, dude, he's so good. I feel like just jumping into a role and becoming a fucking
piece of shit.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
like I thought just like so many of the little nuances, like the things he said. There was obviously that line about
resident retard.
Resident retard. There's shit like that just like digs deep or whatever. But like, I honestly feel that it could have been anybody in this role, but I feel that he brought it to like a whole new level of reality and just like, wow, I fucking hate you, like in a bad guy way.
Well, it's one of the scenes later on. It's like he's in. I think they're at one of the fashion shows or something. The daughter's sitting outside in the chair, and he's like laying down. He's like, "Time to get to work" or whatever.
I think he literally says, "Slid on over here. It's showtime."
Oh yeah,
and it's just like the way he like. Ugh. Like
well, that and then it cuts to the girl. You see the daughter outside, and you hear the woman in there, and she's just like, "Oh, something is wrong.
Yeah.
It's happening again." And then you see her leave.
He
so
clearly
good.
is so mad because he has erectile dysfunction. Like,
Yeah.
It's just like he's got other things going on. You know what I mean? He's a prick.
Yeah.
With prick problems.
And the scene like we mentioned earlier with the cannolis and throwing him at her, like there's just like, and I can't think of everything because I watched this a couple days ago. 2-3 days ago. I should have taken notes. I'm an idiot. But it's just, again, like every scene he's in, honestly, is like so good to me. His delivery, the way he, like, I literally believe him more than any other actor in this movie.
Yeah.
With the way he treats the characters around him, I literally just believe it. It's like, I don't know. He's the only one that's like truly acting in this movie to me. Like the rest are just there because they're paid to be and they play typical, henchmen or whatever.
Yeah.
Or in Bronson's
no
case,
offense to
plays a
Bronson,
typical
but
hero.
Bronson's like hardly in it. Like he's
Yeah.
kind of phoning it in some parts too. Like I'll just be real.
Yeah,
Well,
I would say
when
he's
you're
like
72,
Exactly.
When you're 71,
fair is
72,
fair.
it's just like,
No, fair is fair for sure.
They were probably like, "Here's a bunch of money. Please do another movie for us."
Yeah.
Don't worry, you'll just be standing far away when the people die.
But I would honestly just like for his villain alone, it's like I'm not even kidding when I say it's probably in like I'll give it a number like 20. He's in like my top 20 favorite villains. Death Wish 5. I'm not kidding.
I thought he was really good. I just didn't think it was like as shocking and amazing as you're making it sound.
Yeah, no, I'm being a little intense about it.
I mentioned earlier that the villains are what hold up this movie, and I still think that's the case because
that's kind of what I was gonna mention.
Even though a lot of them are one dimensional, they all have their clique, and it's fun to see them interact, and it's fun to see them do their stuff because they're all a bunch of assholes in different ways. And Tommy's great at being the king asshole of Shit Mountain. Like one thing that and this is I'm gonna time for a segment of how Mike would have made the movie.
Yes, this is my favorite segment. I often think about this.
The guy, Freddie Flakes, the weirdo, the paranoid guy, he dresses up as a woman and he breaks Olivia's face.
Yeah,
he's torturing her, good. and it's harsh and it's mean and it's gross.
Yeah,
and then later he's the one that even shoots Olivia in the back as she's trying to run away. It's him that shoots her. This is the guy that's inflicted the most pain on Olivia. Sure, it was under Tommy's orders, but in my mind, he's second banana at this point. He gets killed off second by a fucking soccer ball. It's like, why wasn't he the one being shoved into the wood chipper in like some kind of dramatic moment where he's like paranoid and freaking out and fucking Bronson descends on him like goddamn Batman and kicks him into a wood chipper? It's like they could have literally, and he would have been just as fine as playing the I don't know if we should keep doing this, Tommy. This is getting freaky moment. Like that scene would have been fine too with him. Like I'm just watching it going, man, this guy was the worst guy ever, and he doesn't even like get it that bad, in my opinion.
He got set on fire.
Yeah, but it's up. Like
it took care of his dandruff.
He's like second guy in. He gets killed before the fucking rat in the DA's office gets killed. Like I'm like, this guy should have been later on. It should have been like more momentum building up to that. Like, oh, this is the motherfucker that did all that shit. I'm gonna get him, and because he's the one Bronson even recognizes. Like when Bronson's going to the bathroom to see Olivia because she's been in there for like 80 minutes at this point, getting her face ground.
He doesn't know he shot her.
That's true, but it's like he doesn't need to. It's like this is a guy that's done more to you personally so far, and he he goes for him second, and I'm like, man, I would have either gone for him first, like, you know, in a realistic sense where it's like, I'm going to get this motherfucker first because of the shit he's done to me, or get him second to last for the sake of the movie where it's like building up to that moment where this guy's like, oh, the second worst guy of the movie.
So you don't think it's awesome that he killed somebody with a soccer ball? Like
an exploding remote-controlled soccer ball.
Yeah. A little BB-8 soccer ball thing.
That's great.
That he can wheel around. I think it's a fun kill. I'm not gonna lie. I wasn't into it. It took too long to reach that point where he's like getting the soccer ball. And I'm like, oh, what's he gonna do with that? And then he's wheeling around the house for 5 minutes. I'm like, all right, what are you gonna do with that?
He was setting off the motion alarms and everything.
And then he picks it up and makes it burst into flame. And I'm like to me, it wasn't like you don't remember at the end of Blade 2 when fucking Norman Reedus just explodes into meat chunks? I would have been cool with an explosion like that. This was like poof fireball explosion.
Yeah, because you need to show like the burning of his scalp, so you knew he got rid of the dandruff.
Yeah,
that's set up from the beginning, man. Yeah. Don't you remember? He has really bad dandruff.
Crucial plot points.
Yeah. I was really thinking like, oh, there's gonna be a scene where like, someone breaks in, he doesn't know what, and then he sees like a bit of dandruff. Like, no, just a bathtub scene where he's trying to get rid of it. And then
there's a few things like that where they set up these again because all the villains have so much established about them because they're like the fucking main characters of the fucking movie. We even have Nervous Guy has heart medication. I'm like, oh, what's he gonna do with the heart medication? It doesn't do anything with the heart medication.
No, it doesn't.
It's like the whole movie, the guy's popping heart medication pills. You even see him getting nervous about it when the dead DA guy shows up, and it's like, oh no, it's just.
Which, by the way, like,
maybe something with the sucker.
I don't share any of your
concerns.
I don't share any of your concerns. I'm not gonna lie, except for like, well, I know you didn't say this, but why is Hector, like the new DA guy, like I thought it was like, I was like, it can't be him. He's the new guy. Yeah, that'd be too obvious that he's the rat. I thought it would be his old friend. I was a little disappointed that it was the new guy.
And we also get introduced to like two cops right off the bat at the police station. One lady cop that ends up getting killed, one other cop, and nothing ends up happening to him. It's like he shows up at the end with Bronson there, and he's like, oh, I guess maybe sometimes vigilante justice is the way, or something like that, because he has a throwaway line with Bronson saying,
was he in other movies or something? Like, is there?
I don't think so.
Was that some kind of reference? Because it was weird that he just like popped in and like.
Well, it's because like halfway through when Lady Cop dies, Bronson's like, how long have you been looking for Tommy? And he's like, 16 years. He's like, that's a long time to fail.
Oh,
and it's it's trying to set up the dynamic, like doing things by the book doesn't get done. Bronson shows up, gets shit done, and at the end,
what's
like
the log line for this movie?
Face of death.
No, but like, you know what I mean, like
the tagline.
It happened again.
Like, let's look at the original Death Wish.
It was probably something like Bronson's got married and has a daughter. You know what that means.
Original is an explosive story of urban violence and revenge.
I mean, that's true.
That's all the Death Wish movies, right? I would think.
That really is all of them, actually.
And I do have to mention, I mentioned this earlier, but no, not while recording.
No, I have the new log lines for this one.
Oh, sorry. But there's a Kevin Bacon movie called Death Sentence, and Death Wish is originally a book, and there was a sequel to the book called Death Sentence. And really? The plot in that book actually gets weird, where there's a bunch of copycat vigilantes, and the Bronson character in the book has to end up going after the King Vigilante or something like that, because he's like given a bad name to vigilantes or something like that.
Okay.
But anyway, there's a Kevin Bacon movie called Death Sentence, which is it doesn't have anything cool like that going on, but it is like just a straightforward revenge movie, and I really like that movie. It's probably my favorite revenge movie, and it stars Kevin Bacon. And it sounds weird, but it's like, in my opinion, it does the revenge movie right. And I just have to drop that in at some point. I couldn't go through a Death Wish podcast without mentioning Death Sentence at some point. But anyway, what was the other log line for Death Wish 5?
It was dumb. It doesn't matter. I'm looking at this Death Sentence movie.
What?
It was like I'll go back to it. Just cover me up right now. I'm trying to
you'd probably like Death Sentence, Kyle. Like it's pretty bloody and violent, like more than it needs to be, and it has John Goodman in it for no reason.
Is it from 2007 or 1997?
2007. It was made by the guys that made the Saw movie. That's how I ended up seeing it as a kid, because I liked the Saw movie.
I've never heard of this.
But then I really dug it.
James Wan fucking directed it.
Damn.
Fast and Furious.
There's a scene. It's all one take, where it starts like at the bottom level of a parking garage as like some gangbangers are trying to get Kevin Bacon, and they're chasing Kevin Bacon all the way up to the top of the parking garage, and then Kevin Bacon locks one of them into a car and pushes it off the top of the garage to kill the guy. And this all happens in one take. It's awesome.
I'm like really mad that I haven't seen this movie now. Like I'm trying to pull up images. My phone's being stupid.
It didn't do too well, and it wasn't that critically acclaimed. But I personally think like it is what I want to see when I go to see a revenge movie. We have like a few minutes of setup, and it's pretty violent and pretty intense, and then it's like crazy shit starts happening. Then we have a lull, and then we have revenge time, and he just goes on a fucking murder spree. And that's how I like my revenge movies. It's like, things get heated, and it's like the guy gets pulled into a situation he shouldn't be in, but it's like, he ends up making it out okay, and it's kind of intense and kind of crazy. But then we're lulled into a second moment where it's like, oh, everything's okay. Maybe he made it out. Nope. Shit's still in the fan. Everything's bad. You're going to have to save the day, Kevin Bacon. And it's great because also it adds this element of like, you probably shouldn't be doing this shit, Kevin Bacon. You're just some guy, and I know you're mad, but like you're really not doing anything good right now by going around killing these people. And it really establishes that tone that he's not a good guy going and doing vigilante justice at all. Unlike Death Wish 5, which has kind of a comedic tone to it, I'd even say, when Bronson's going and killing people with cannolis.
I mean, it's genius.
Yeah.
No, it's a different
Killed the
movie.
Italian with a
different movie, different kind of
cyanide cannoli.
Gotcha. See, I didn't hate this movie. The thing I disliked about the movie the most was thinking, like, did Brian just like pick the worst one on purpose?
I mean, it is the worst. It absolutely is the worst one.
There's no way it's not the worst.
But did you do it like on purpose?
No.
Do you know what I mean?
I just that's the last one they made. Let's do that one.
Okay.
Yeah, it is an interesting case.
I didn't want to immediately be like, well, I specifically like this one already. Let's do this one, for a different number. Okay. So I was like, I'll pick one towards the end that I don't.
This one in a while.
Seen this one in a long time.
Okay.
So I was like, it's a refresher, and it'll be, it'll just be better.
I think it is an interesting case too, because again, Canon went bankrupt, and someone's like, you know what? Let's make another one. This wasn't like Canon milking their fucking franchise for everything it was worth, or someone like trying to hold on to.
It was someone else trying to milk their franchise.
It was someone else just like they probably could have just done anything, but they're like, you know what? We think that there's enough in this Death Wish name to make another one. Let's they wanted to make this movie.
Sure.
It could have died. It could have not happened, but they said no. Let's buy it. Let's make it. Let's do it.
And see, I think it's like a testament. I want to check out these movies because I think that's the greatest thing that come out of this movie, in my opinion, is like that I want to see the other ones. Because I think it's a testament, too, for Charles Bronson to say, like, yes. Do you know what I mean? Like, he clearly enjoys this character and enjoys this, like, world that it's like...
I didn't get any enjoyment out of Bronson in this movie.
Well, he was old.
Yeah.
It's hard for him to show a lot of emotion. Okay.
Yeah. Even if it's real enjoyment.
Yeah. I did feel like in the other movies, is he like much more intense with his like revenge? Like, or is it always just kind of like a comical, like witty line, and then he kills them, and then?
No.
Does he ever just like choke someone out, or fucking like bash a brain?
I don't think so. I think a lot of the other ones, it's a lot of shooting.
Just mostly shooting.
He just.
I feel like
just
guns
shoots.
definitely played a big part.
I'm gonna spoil 3.
Okay.
He shoots the boss with a rocket launcher.
Oh shit!
Like
right out the
blank.
window.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like point blank.
So
Because they even bring it. And he's like, it does an arm for 3 feet.
We should have watched fucking 3.
We really should have.
Man.
3 would have been great because it just.
We'll do 3 at some point. We have to.
But yeah, like.
So would you say like the first 2 are like much more hard boiled, and then 3 is when it starts getting like kind of crazy? Or has it always just been kind of crazy?
No, the first one is very like
just dark.
It's not it's not like there's not comedy shit going on. It's it's very.
It sound. I mean,
gritty.
Yeah,
and like,
you're dealing with like murder and rape. I feel like you gotta kind of.
And like it's been quite a while, but I feel like
wife gets murdered and daughter gets raped. There's not gonna be a fucking poison cannoli scene.
Sure.
Yeah, and I'm trying to think of. It's been a while since I'd seen any of them, but I feel like. Even like that, the scene, because I think they follow his daughter in the first one we're talking about. Mm-hmm. I'm pretty sure they follow him home and then like up into their apartment, and like it gets like really intense in there. Like it's very I'm pretty sure it's like even a decently long scene, if I remember. But
yeah, let's just do 3.
Yeah, and 3 is definitely like ridiculous, but it's very.
It starts to have more fun with it.
Yeah,
which is what I would want.
Which I think if you go to like another like awesome action series, Die Hard, I feel like started off really strong, kind of comical, sure, but like mostly not. And then 2 just got like, what the fuck? Exactly. And then 3 they honed back in.
Yeah.
But then like ever since it's just crazy again.
Yeah.
But I do like seeing what they do with those, because after so many, like if you're gonna do so many, you got to do something different.
Now you want me to pick Die Hard 3 for the next choice,
dude. Die Hard with a Vengeance is like one of. There's actually some really good stuff we can talk about too with that. Like if we do that, because there's some like I don't want to spoil it now. We'll talk about it later. But there's some just like awesome shit.
I love any movie that has a scene where they have to do a math problem. I love that. It's like, hey, I set a trap with a bomb, but it's a math problem, and I'm a little nerdy kid going, oh fuck! If I was in that park, I would save the day.
Hell yeah, dude. When I think it was my 6th or 7th birthday. We went to like the Belford Theater or whatever it was, the outdoor theater, and watched Under Siege 2 followed by the main event of Die Hard 3.
Damn.
And I was just like, like guys, me as a kid is like straight up action and kung fu movies. Like it's the only shit I liked.
I mean, that makes
this was like the best birthday party ever. But like so many parents were mad.
It's like a shame that you caught the end of all the action shit too.
Right.
Like, like you're young enough to where like that's all like, oh man, you caught the tail end of like good action movies.
Sure.
Not the heyday of it.
Man.
No, I mean you do have that on us for sure. Like
Under Siege 2 was the one on a train, right?
Yeah, that was the one on a train.
Because I always mix up that one with the one where there's like a nuke on the train and it's like Arrowhead or something like that is the name of the movie.
Oh, yeah, dude.
I always get
Broken Arrow.
Broken Arrow. I always get those fucking movies confused, like the scenes in either one.
That was the movie that played before. I think I might have just said Under Siege 2, but it was Broken. I don't know. Either way, I watched both those movies. Face Off. That's another movie a little later in that era, but like they just don't make them like that anymore, man.
No.
They don't.
No.
The Rock.
The Rock is a fucking great. I will fight anybody on that. But The Rock is like really good. Why hate people who just jump on the like? I hate Michael. I can't even think of
Michael Bay.
Thank you.
Michael Bay is great.
I agree.
You just have to appreciate. You have to know what he's doing. He knows what he's doing.
He does what he does so fucking well that like I don't know how you can't admire it.
Yeah,
If you don't like his stuff, don't go see it.
I've like you see people all the time. They're like, oh, it's just mindless explosions and stuff. And you're like,
no.
yeah.
No,
also, but not even.
No, watch one of the Transformers and then watch Battleship. All right, like Battleship tries to be Bayhem. It tries to do that kind of thing and fails.
Okay, you were wrong. Battleship is a great movie directed by a completely different directing style.
No, that's what I mean.
Peter Berg.
It's trying to do something like that and failing.
No.
Whoa.
I mean, I know what you're saying because they both come from like 80s toys or whatever. Sure.
No, I'm saying that as in like
but
the movie is trying to do something like that and it's not able to do it. I mean, it tries to do those pan around shots.
I know what you're saying.
It does the things.
No, Michael Bay is obviously a very talented. Like he knows what he's doing.
Yes.
And a lot of it's eye candy, but sure, you're seeing a fucking Transformers movie, so it's like,
yeah.
What do you want? At this point, if you don't like, you can't please everybody, then I guess. But
no.
Fuck, I want to pick one of those movies for this podcast.
Transformers?
Damn. Yeah, sure.
Dave would be totally down for that.
I don't know if he would. Honestly.
I mean, as long as
if
it's
I
got
do one of the Mark
LaBeouf.
Wahlberg ones.
No, you gotta do Shia LaBeouf.
Oh, he likes.
I love Shia
Either way,
LaBeouf.
I'm safe. He loves Mark Wahlberg too, though.
Yeah.
Who doesn't?
I don't know. That's a good question. Wait, when did Shia LaBeouf leave? After 2?
No, I think he was.
I think he was in the third one.
Yeah,
he was. 'Cause that was like
the
a separate
reboot.
trilogy,
Yeah.
and 4 was Mark Wahlberg. Okay.
Yeah. Is there ever
Yeah.
overlap between the two of them?
No,
I
there
don't
should
know.
be though.
I've
dude.
only seen the first one.
If he does one more,
Shia LaBeouf comes back.
yeah. I heard they're doing a Bumblebee spinoff. Like,
yeah.
Whoa.
I get it, but
I didn't know this was going to be a new extended universe or
like
whatever.
exactly
yeah.
right. Like I didn't expect that. I
Hopefully
just
they
thought we
do
got-
like where the G.I. Joe and Transformers do thing as a comic.
Oh, that would actually be cool.
Yeah.
They're trying to do something with the G.I. Joe.
I love the
franchise,
G.I. Joe
right?
movies.
I haven't
I
seen
didn't
them,
like
but
the
I've heard
first
great
one,
stuff.
but I liked the two that came after that.
Retaliation 2. There's only
There was a
only
third
2
one?
of them.
Didn't like
yeah.
Channing Tatum die in the first one, and then then he blew up, and they're like, oh shit, no, we need to bring him back. Or he died at the beginning. He's supposed to die at the beginning of the second one, so they did reshoots. Because again, like Channing Tatum went from like being like, oh, he's that guy in that dance movie to like, it's Channing fucking Tatum.
Yeah.
So I think they like reshot to like include his character more in the second movie or something. Like it was some kind of mess like that. But I heard it was like still good. So, and the Rock's in those two, right?
Yeah.
I don't know
I
what
think
sounds
they're
bad.
great.
Well,
about
apparently
them.
there's only like I thought there was 3, but
No, there's
I
only
must
2.
be I must
The
have
first is Rise of Cobra. It's like the origins of Cobra and all that shit, how they're
Yeah.
starting. And then the second one is Retaliation. That's a fucking good ass movie.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like I shouldn't like them because I know G.I. Joe is my fucking favorite thing.
I didn't
Those
know
are the
that.
only toys that I kept from my childhood. They were all my G.I. Joes, and I still have them all.
But do you regret not keeping some of your other toys?
Eh.
I still have
Okay.
some of my Beast Wars.
I didn't know that about you. though. I
But
didn't
yeah,
know.
I love G.I.
Beast
Joe
Wars,
stuff.
nice.
Even, I mean, now they're up to I think it's 50th anniversary or something, but like, they've been like steadily re-releasing a bunch of them. Like, I have a bunch of let's see, what was it? Probably 2000, it can't be 50th. That doesn't add up.
30th maybe? No,
I don't know.
My
It'd be
dad
older.
had like.
I was
G.I.
gonna
Joe.
say it'd be
so-
older than
I
It
don't
50.
remember.
might be 50.
But no, I'm thinking of the like 3 3/4 inch ones.
Oh, okay.
Because man, it was probably what 2000,
Like when they started getting to, like-
2007 or something. They started re-releasing them all, and I bought a bunch of them. And I have a ton of those things, and they're so cool.
Cool.
Love
Yeah,
'em.
that was one of my favorite toys as a
Love
kid,
G.I.
for sure.
Joes.
Yeah, my favorite GI Joe thing was those parody public service announcement
Oh, yeah.
videos.
Oh my
Pork chop
god.
sandwich.
G.I.
Holy
shit! Hey kid, I'm a computer.
That
Stop
was
all the downloading.
the height of E-Bombs world. Man.
Oh my god!
Holy
yeah.
shit.
Oh, the internet used to be great.
There were so many people just did things right,
Yeah.
like right away.
Yeah,
with the
Maddox
internet.
and all
now it's
that.
just all,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and now,
Greatest page in the universe.
That's just like too much.
You're the man now, dog.
Yeah. Oh my
that
god.
was, fuck you. That was not good.
You're the man
What?
now, dog was great. I had like 4 You're the man now, dog web pages.
I know. I told you to create the one.
Yeah.
Whatever. Like,
It's probably still out there.
Probably yeah. If that's still a thing.
yeah.
Oh my god.
You're like,
Wow.
but the one thing I am glad about the internet is that we have gone to like there's like 3 streaming players. But I remember like back in the day, every fucking website had like their own streaming player, and it was the
Yeah.
most frustrating thing in the world because some worked
Mm-hmm.
and most didn't. Like, also, like our internet connection was garbage and a
Yeah.
half. So
Oh yeah.
that's true.
If I could get all the time back that I waited for QuickTime Player videos
Sure.
to download, my God, I'd be a different man.
God, dude, fucking okay. Did you guys hear like last week Jeff Bezos was like richer than Bill Gates?
I don't know who that is.
Oh, Jeff Bezos owns Amazon.
Okay.
Mhm. He's
So-
now the richest man.
Yeah, but no, for like it was for a matter of a few hours because of stocks, and then he went right back to being below. But dude, in 97, 98, 99 is when he started Amazon, and like they just recently released like a retro image of like what the first like page looked like.
Whoa.
And it's fucking so crazy different.
Yeah.
But dude, it's just an idea to like sell books online. And now fucking look at that company 20 years later. Like
it's everything now.
it's so fucking everything.
Mm-hmm. I remember there was a time when people
This
thought
is stupid.
Google
This is
and
a dumb
Amazon were
conversation. I sound like an
going
idiot. Sorry, I'm
to
just-
team up.
Wait, what?
There was a time when some people were thinking Google and Amazon were going to team up
Yeah.
and like join forces and become like one company kind of thing. And looking at that now, like those are like the two biggest goddamn internet companies in the world. I can't imagine those two people teaming up and like they would rule everything. they would control.
I wish
the
they would
world.
just give everybody free internet. Like that's what I'm going for. Because like
It'll never be free, but it should
Well,
definitely be under common carrier
it should,
laws
yeah,
like
it's a
electricity
utility.
and water.
Yeah.
I absolutely agree. It's a fucking utility. And to tie this back into movies in some way, I would so be ready to get rid. Even my girlfriend who like loves TV would be ready to get rid of cable and just use services if we didn't already have to fucking pay the company that provides our cable.
Oh
our internet.
yeah.
Because once you take cable off of that, the internet price gets jacked up. Do you
Yep.
know what I mean? It's just
Yeah.
like, what the fuck? You can't win. And it's
Well, it's because that's how the company makes their money.
no,
is
I
it's
get
like,
it. I understand the
yeah.
business of it.
Yeah,
I'm saying
yeah.
like, why? Like, I would like a big company like Google who's doing the Google Fiber and shit
Yeah.
in several cities. Like, I would like them to just like figure out some kind of way to like get this through legislation or whatever to become a utility, because that's their fucking goal is basically to provide people who can't
Yeah.
have internet. And it's I don't know why I'm fucking ranting now. It's late. I don't
No,
know.
it's
not even late.
a legitimate rant though. But
But we're supposed to be talking about Death Wish 5.
Yeah.
I think
we covered
I think
most
we've
of it.
said
That's all right.
everything
There's-
that could be said
no,
about
there-
Death Wish 5.
I don't.
You know what?
I got a few more things
Dude.
on
Like
it.
what?
I just.
Wait, real quick. I want a movie where a guy goes after a major cable company and
So
he
the
starts
cable
taking
guy?
motherfuckers
Cable guy.
out. Oh yeah, that's true. That's true. God damn it.
Even that's really not at all what it's about, but
An even darker cable guy where he murders everybody at a cable
Jesus.
company.
Blah, goo, blah.
No. What do you have?
I
notes?
don't know, I was just gonna get into it. Like, I like all the deaths. I think most of them are very good.
I do too.
Except for one that makes no sense to me is the foreman, the fat guy. He gets hit by a not moving that fast car and launches
Oh my god, yeah, I remember that.
through the window.
I wasn't even sure if
Then
he died, but
The car backed up and had no damage. And I was just like, yeah, I like where this
And
is
he
going.
got hit so hard he turned into a stunt double. It was amazing.
Yeah. And he flew so far.
yeah, dude, that was insane.
And that car was not going that fast. It was
No,
20 miles
you're
an
right.
hour.
No, you're right.
Physics don't add up
You're
there.
right.
And then the car doesn't get damaged at all.
And
And
then-
it's not like a 70s Lincoln or something that's 100% steel that you can't break. It was just oh man. I love it though.
It's also really
That is-
fucking ballsy. Like, you're gonna just fucking hit a guy with your car.
This guy is like not so for someone
daylight,
who
yeah.
someone who dresses a fucking woman to go into a bathroom and break his girl's face. It's just now like out in public, just like I'm gonna get away with it. So what does it matter? You know?
that is the best point. It's like a guy who dresses as a woman to walk into the women's bathroom without being called out is willing to drive his fucking car
into two human beings
in broad
daylight.
yeah.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Also, hey, real question, real quick. In New York in the 90s or any other time, did smoke just billow out of every street grate?
I think that's
Or was that?
I
is
feel like
that
that's
just,
a real. I've never
I
been,
feel like
but
that
I feel
has
like
to
that's
be
probably
real
real.
with how much I've seen it.
Okay.
It's in every movie ever in New York, so it.
For sure. Okay, I just
I
wanted
mean, it
to.
has to just smell terrible in New York
yeah,
all the
That's
time.
what I'm thinking. Like, it's got to smell fucking awful. Someone brought up to me last night or yesterday, like, the biggest thing with, like, time travel is, like, if we went back in time, we would be nauseous at how bad everything smelled.
Yeah.
Because, like,
We would also be like a full
people
foot
just
taller
didn't
than
bathe.
everyone.
And, that's probably true, too. Sorry, that was random. That was so fucking random. I'm sorry. But I was just thinking about because it smelled. New York probably fucking smells
You're watching this
terrible.
movie and you think it stinks? Is that what you're saying?
That's what I was thinking. No, that smoke. I was just like, it has to smell terrible. Like it has to smell god awful. Just like there's just people that are just so fine with just like walking on the sidewalk with that blowing in their face, and I'm like, what is it? I don't even know what it is.
It's just like
and I hate it.
Steam or smoke
is
or
that
something.
what smell looks like?
Or maybe
The smells are so strong in New York you can see them.
Exactly. Like, also,
Oh my
speaking
God.
of gagging, I literally during that cannoli scene, I was gonna throw up
Because of how
Jeez.
fat and sloppy he was eating.
It was
them.
just like it was so aggressive. I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I'm thinking about it now.
fucking cannoli.
Oh man. But oh,
Anyway,
God.
sorry.
Yeah, did you?
The deaths
And
were
then-
great. Fuck
and
you,
then
Mike.
cutting-
Soccer Ball was
just
awesome.
cutting up to like the last the payoff
Yeah.
in the factory fight. So those the three was it 3 guys? Yeah, it's the 3 guys. There's the bald guy, and I don't know if they did this on purpose or not, but when he's talking, he has like the deep, throaty voice or whatever,
Uh-huh.
and then right before he dies, he breaks that and is just like shit. And I'm almost wondering if it was like to disguise himself, because when he uses the radio, he does it so maybe he can't be. I feel like I'm giving them too much credit here, but
I think an actor broke character
Yeah.
to say shit.
because like he always had that big like
Yeah.
and it was every time he said something through the radio or in person, it was that, and I was like, oh, did they do that to disguise his voice? Like he didn't want anybody able to identify him, but then he almost gets when he's getting killed, he's like shit. And it's just like something done that up there.
Maybe it's just his bad guy voice. You know,
Yeah.
he's like, I gotta fit in. I
That was Frankie. That was his name. Because when he's clicking on the radio and he's like, Frankie!
Okay. I was thinking, no, that's the flaky guy, but that's Freddy Flakes.
Yeah, it's
Freddy-
Freddy.
No, you
Frankie.
yeah. That's
Frankie,
Frankie,
and
not
then
Freddy.
there's the mustache guy
Well, awesome.
who was he's a horrible actor.
Yes,
He was so bad. But also he had a really cool thing too, where they saran wrapped him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah,
I
hung
loved-
him up on the hook.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
loved the saran wrap part, and then that Tommy kills him,
Yeah.
thinking that it was Paul.
Mm-hmm.
It's good stuff.
Honestly, I'm fine with all the deaths in this movie.
Yeah, the deaths
Like-
were great.
Yeah, I'm fine with
Because they were when they weren't like they were just inventive in a way, and like
Yeah.
maybe that
There were a
contributed
couple
to,
like he killed he killed Frankie, and then the other guy that got electrocuted on the electric fence.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Again, I was cool with everything that happened in
Oh,
that
yeah.
ending scene.
That-
like you know,
Yeah.
I liked the lighting, I liked the kills, I liked everything that was going on. I felt like it was a good ending.
yeah.
agree.
Yeah.
Speaking of endings,
Yeah,
Wait,
that's,
is
I
he
think
done with
that's-
notes?
I think that's pretty much everything I had to say.
What about that other page? What was that other page? The whole other page.
That was the first page.
uh,
That was mostly.
Oh, we already
me.
got through that other
Yeah.
thing?
First,
Okay.
the first one was a lot of me praising it, and then I did a couple things where I was
Nice.
like, there
Okay.
are some things I didn't like about it.
Okay.
I mean, that's
You know what? I need to start fucking doing notes. I'm sorry. I will do notes from now
you
on.
really should.
It's stupid that I don't. Because I watched this and I already kind of like forgot a couple elements.
if you
Yeah.
watch it right before, it makes some sense. But I really like notes.
Yeah, because I never did do that, Brian. Because like before you joined, we used to like watch the movie here and then just go right in. It's just like it was pretty hard to forget what just happened.
yeah.
Yeah.
But I have not brought it to the new format. Also, who am I? I'm not even here. What
Yeah.
am I?
Yeah.
I'm like hardly.
I think you're only here because Dave couldn't make
I
it.
feel like how many episodes have I missed? Like
It's been like 4 or 5 now.
I've missed,
It's
and I
been-
haven't listened to any of them since our first like 5
Jesus.
or 6
Oh,
episodes.
dude,
I know. I really need
you're
to
missing
catch
out.
up
Some
on
of them
our own
are
show.
some of them are really good.
To be fair, I haven't listened to like any podcast, so it's not like I'm not.
I
this on the back burner, but-
genuinely really enjoyed our Day of the Dead one so much that I re-listened to
I
it.
am
haven't
so
listened to
mad
that
I had
yet.
to miss that.
Probably going
episode.
to tomorrow. I do a lot, like when I'm mowing the lawn. I gotta mow my lawn
Hell
tomorrow
yeah.
morning.
Hell yeah.
It
dude.
works then, or I've been doing it a lot when the second half of my night at work when I'm loading the delivery trucks. That's perfect because they let you listen to shit like on that shift because they let people that load do whatever the fuck you want as long as you
Okay.
load that fucking truck. They
Sure.
don't give a shit. But you have to like keep one ear free. So I bought some like Bluetooth headphones and I keep one in my right ear
Nice.
and then I listen to fucking podcasts.
Do you ever
Shit.
just like? like,
Oh.
out of nowhere. Just
I
like,
have straight up started cracking up because I've been
Awesome.
like not very great. I listen to like a lot of last podcasts on the left right now.
Okay.
And what the fuck is the other one? I don't remember, but like yeah, I'm listening to them talk about Columbine. And I'm like, it's like, oh man, I don't want to have to explain to somebody. Well, what's so funny? Oh no, that they're just talking about Columbine.
It's the Nerdist. I'm just listening to the Nerdist.
And there's man, what's the other one? I don't want to name it because I feel like It's like another film one in there. Like, I hate it. I listen to it and it irritates. It's like they absolutely don't. It's only like an hour long, and they take like 30-second breaks and cut in. They're like, "Oh, we're gonna take a break now." And it's like, from what? You're an hour long. You don't need breaks.
We used to do that for Talking Show. Like we did that the first couple times, if you remember.
Well, yeah, but we also recorded for like an hour and a half to hour 45 minutes.
That is
you know what I mean?
That's true.
That you would then edit down to an hour.
I edited it down to
an hour.
And that's probably what happens in this scenario too. They probably talk so much that they.
It's just weird.
Yeah.
It throws me off. It's like it's not that long.
Nah.
But yeah, whatever.
I would take a break if we had someone like paying us.
Yeah. Yeah.
to like throw an advertisement in.
That podcast sucks.
You would have been fired.
I keep listening to it. They keep doing movies that I really like, and I'm like, I'm gonna listen to this one. It's gonna be what's the other one? How did this get made? I like that one.
Oh, I've heard great. I've never listened.
Yeah, I've done a few because it's like Nick Kroll and some other. I don't know if he's in all of them, but there's
two of the dudes from that shit. No, I can't think of that show.
Yeah, I don't know.
From
Nick Kroll,
that shit.
but the main guy's Shear, Paul Shear.
I don't remember. I just found that one like Thursday night, and I listened to like the Sleepaway Camp one is great.
Cool.
It's so good. Sleepaway Camp is great.
And they always get guests that are somehow connected, or like if they can't find one that's like directly connected to the movie, they find somebody who like absolutely loves it.
Yeah.
Or, like I love that idea. Like that's the best. It's probably the best podcast idea I've ever heard. Where I was like, man, I wish I would have thought of that. First.
And the only thing is a lot of the ones that I like downloaded right away were like live ones at like conventions and stuff, and like that kind of throws me off a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because it's really, I don't know, it's just weird.
It's like listening to a live album.
You know,
it's different. It's like
But otherwise, it's good. I like it.
What's the shitty one? I want to know what that is.
I'm not gonna say.
All right, you can say it off the.
I'm gonna keep listening to it and being like, I fucking hate these guys.
Yeah.
Because I did the first one I listened to was on kids.
You think we got people like that to listen to this show?
I don't think anybody listens to this
Oh,
other than us.
Yeah, I'm pretty convinced that's the case too.
And then
our
friend Brandy
someone tuned in
to
for
it.
Oh yeah, oh my god.
Shout out to Brandy.
Who, by the way, fucking helped me out because of the show. She texted me. She's like, actually, our insurance covers one free eye exam a year. Like, oh my god! All right, doing it, done, boom.
If anyone's tuning in for Death Wish, they had to sit through like 12 minutes of Avengers.
Dude, that's fine. You know
and
what?
then like a break about the internet and G.I. Joe and Michael Bay.
Dude, all of this
I'm fine when it happens afterwards.
Wait, we had plenty of talking show fans, and I feel all this is the talking show, but like we talk about movies even more so.
Yeah,
that's what this has become, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's fine.
Yeah. If you didn't get here from the talking show, those are the
Brian
people I
now.
want to find out about. Like,
yeah, I mean, I think that this one's like well promoted. I think people. I don't know. What are our numbers like, man? You have the key to that.
Through the roof.
Great.
It's insane.
Oh yeah, by those advertisements, dude, we get offers. We just turn them down because fuck this.
We're not sellouts. Yeah.
We don't need money.
The
We're all
shit
good.
out of myself, please. Yeah. But anyway, let's do a round of thumbs ups or thumbs downs.
Oh yeah.
I'm a thumbs down. I think y'all saw that coming, and I don't even think it needs to be said. Brian, what about you?
See, this is a weird one because I like it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I like all of these movies. This one, it's clearly the worst of the 5. I'm like a barely a thumbs up, like a 51%, but also
everyone's taking my line.
Yeah, I know. Well, it is. I mean, it's a good line though. It's like a 51, but also like kind of with the caveat that you like the rest of them.
Yeah, sure.
I guess not counting the first, because the first is like legitimately great. It's very good, and then the rest they get ridiculous. But it's like if you don't like the rest of them, you're probably not gonna like this one at all.
Sure.
And if you liked this one, you'll love what's came before it. So,
Kyle, you're in for a good time then.
I mean, yeah, like I would. I'm on Brian's, but for different caveats. Actually, I would give it a thumbs up, but I am excited to check out further in the franchise because I didn't think this was like a bad movie. If this was like not a Death Wish movie and this would have just been about an older guy and this shit starts happening, like this, I would be like fine with it.
Yeah.
But all it did was really, again, my biggest problem through the movie was thinking like, why did Brian pick this one? Like I'm sure there's better ones. Like, and apparently I'm right. So it's just, you know what I mean? That's my worst thing. But overall, like, I enjoyed most of the movie. And I think, honestly, thumbs up for Michael Parks' performance alone.
Damn.
Like, I'm not even kidding. I loved it. I don't know if I expressed that enough on the show because I, was so ready to talk about it. But I love Michael Parks. I like tried. I quoted like a bunch of his lines yesterday. Now I can't think of any of them. But it was just like, shit, like shimmy on over here, it's showtime. You know, like it's just he was so fucking weird. He was so fucking weird.
Looked like a piece of shit.
Yes. He was so sleazy looking and like, but so he didn't give a fuck. Like it was just this thing where it's just like you know in the scene when like the kid budges in and gives somebody a note, but then like all the guys turn their guns.
Yeah,
dude,
at the funeral.
Yeah, Michael Parks is still just like. Just chilling there looking at the casket like he's not worried, you know what I mean? Like it's just like little things like that is I think he brought to the character, just mannerisms that really grounded him in this like reality, this albeit fucked up reality, but like in this reality it made that character like super real to me.
Yeah, very convincing crime boss.
Yeah. So yeah, thumbs down. No, thumbs up. I would you know, I'm excited to see the rest.
All right.
Maybe I'm being too
and check out
positive
Death Sentence too while you're at it.
Yeah, actually it looks pretty cool.
All right then.
What are we at?
An hour 20.
Damn.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
But they can cut out that first Dave. You can cut out that first 20 minutes of Avenger bullshit.
No way.
No, what?
There's good stuff in there.
Yeah. I think people will be curious to find out what's going on, you know?
Some good Infinity Gauntlet stuff going on.
Again, it's just really Brandy. We should just ask Brandy what she wants to hear. And
Brandy, do you think Dave left it all in? But do you think he should have cut it out?